Hold on tight for the next hour. You're entering into a place, a zone called the alternative to the alternative media. It's a place, a special place where even truth seekers fear to tread.
All right, people, let's move like we've got a purpose.
Affirmative.
Okay, welcome back, boys and girls, to the Investigative Journal. It's been a couple days. Take a couple days off to travel to Baja, Mexico. Yes, I did. I go to the dentist there. And so I went for a couple days. And when I go, I usually like to take in the beach, do a little, I'm not a surfer, but I enjoy watching them. And you got some good waves out here. And also enjoy the Mexican atmosphere. Very safe in Baja. I cross the border, go to Tijuana, then I head over to Rosarito, and I spend a couple days here. And let me tell you, I save a lot of money, and I get better dental care than I get in America. So why should I even live there, is the question I have. I did some pricing, too, while I was here, and the homes are incredibly priced right. Really. In fact, I thought maybe I should sell homes in Baja because you don't need a real estate license here. It's kind of the Wild West, but, you can. I've got a background in selling motor yachts, which I did to survive in this crazy world that we live in, one of a number of things. I'm a master of many odd jobs, many things I've done, never really got good at any of them, but you know what they say, necessity is the mother of invention. And never was that more true in my case. And if I went through all the list of things I've done and the jobs I got fired from, I've gotten fired from more jobs, and I'm very proud of that because I wasn't the one who would stick around just for the money, right? No way, too much life to live. So anyway, I spent 2 days in Baja getting my teeth fixed, did a good job, and very happy with it. And I was wondering, people are always talking to me about how dangerous it is in Mexico. I don't find it to be the case. I go here a lot because I live near the border. And I find it to be very enjoyable. So I did, like I said, some pricing on homes. And you can get such deals here. I know somebody living near the beach bought a place for $30,000. Now, that's not normal. You're going to find condos. Oh, you can probably get one right on the beach for $150,000. Maybe $250,000, which is cheap. You pay millions in the States. Homes, really. You can find some really good deals close to the beach or right on the beach. In fact, I was looking at one that was priced at about $120,000 or $130,000 in a place called San Antonio del Mar, which is not far from the border, right outside of Rosarito. And you're going to get some great deals. So American people are coming here an awful lot. And I wonder, are these the same people who say build the wall? I mean, I see more American people. It's funny, but I speak, when I come to Rosarito for dental work, I speak more English here than I do when I'm in Chula Vista in the other side of the border. So we got everybody over there speaking Spanish, and now everybody from America is coming here. So what the hell do we need the wall for? Look, the wall is just another one of the games that Trump and his, New World Order, Vatican Jesuit-led New World Order are pushing on you. Because really, all they want, what's going to keep out? All the innocent people, and the drug cartels know how to cross the border. They can buy expensive airplanes, or they can buy submarines. They're not going to, you think they're going to go through San Ysidro, the biggest port in the world? The biggest border crossing in the world? The busiest border crossing in the world. You think they're going to go through there with a big load of drugs when they know the dogs are out and they've got everybody being checked? You would not believe how many people when you go to the Mexican border, you just drive right through, right? When you come back to America, they put you through hell and high water to get back. And I say, who wants to get back? To be honest with you, it isn't as desirable as people say. But what I'm saying is you would not believe some of the people get put over into the second. See, if you go through the border going back to the States, they check your passport or papers, and then they say, go. But if they put something on your windshield, you go to the second station where they double check you. And you would not believe, I've talked to some people, grandmas, grandpas, waiting 1 hour while they check their papers. And during that 1 hour, how many drug cartels have flown over the border with millions of dollars of heroin, where the government, the Vatican, and as well as the drug cartels are making millions? So it's just a sham. I was talking to somebody, an older gentleman, who used to cross the border 40 to 50 years ago, and he said, man, it was so easy back then. We just come here and fly right through. And now, unless you got to get what's called a century pass. That takes a couple months, and then it's a lot quicker depending on the time you go through. You can maybe spend 15 minutes getting back to the States when sometimes you'd spend, the last time I crossed, I spent 1 hour and 45 minutes. I don't have the century pass. So anybody wants any information on Baja land, contact me. I do have some connections, as I'm looking to get as many people out of America as I can before the shit hits the new you-know-what. So that's my first 6 minutes on Baja, where I was for the last couple days. But listen, what I thought to do today was to just peruse the internet and see what people are reading about that they don't read about in the mainstream news or on Fox or on CNN, which today is total dog and pony show. They're playing every minute of the hearings between some Professor Palsy Ford and Judge Kavanaugh from the Circuit Court, the Federal District in Washington, D.C., who's a Supreme Court Justice nomination. Now, he's a pretty intelligent guy. Guess where he went to school? His high school is Georgetown Prep. And he's Georgetown trained. What else would you expect? So, anyway, today, all you're going to hear on TV and in the papers is this ad nauseum hearing that's going on between a woman who's accusing Judge Kavanaugh of sexual abuse. Now, this is a political stunt which leads me to believe, again, that this is a theater, that both the Democrats and Republicans are working on the same side to get their end game, and that's the New World Order, one world government. Now, the issue here really behind the scenes is Trump has already put a conservative judge in, and now if he puts the second one in, the conservatives will have a majority on the court, and the Democrats are so frightened that Roe v. Wade will be overturned. Now, if my thinking is correct, these big issues always seem to get worked out like this. They fight and they fight and they fight, and then in the end they get what they want. Look at Obamacare. The Republicans have been there for 2 years, and you still have Obamacare. So you think these guys aren't working together? And Obamacare sucks. So that's why I go across the border for medical treatment or for dental treatment. You get better care here for less money. The same dental work I had done today or yesterday, day before yesterday, would have cost me thousands of dollars in the States, and I couldn't afford it. So I came here, and it cost a mere, I'd say 15-20% of what it would have cost in the States. And I got good care. In the States, if you don't have the money, your teeth rot, Okay, so Kavanaugh's being accused by this woman of sexual abuse. Behind the scenes, it's this whole liberal conservative court problem that's going on before our eyes. That's what we're told. So listen to what happens. He's flying through the nomination. Good, as far as what they like in the elites there. They talk about his qualifications as a justice, his, impeccable character, etc., etc. But about 2 weeks ago, this woman, who's a professor for some university, and she was from the East Coast and went to a girls' school near Georgetown Prep, where Kavanaugh went to high school. And she has accused him of sexual abuse. Now, the accusations are 38 years old. It's when the kid was in high school, and she was in high school. And she alleges that she went to a party And she had one, first she said she was inebriated, then in the testimony today she said she had one beer, but that Judge Kavanaugh and his friend Mr. Mark Judge, and two other boys were in the living room there, inebriated. When she went up to the bathroom to go to the head, she literally got pushed into a bedroom by Judge Kavanaugh and Mark Judge, and the door was locked, and Judge Kavanaugh jumped on her, according to her, when he was 16 years old, and then would have raped her if she didn't put up such a stink. She also said she feared for her life when he put his hand over her mouth when she was screaming. Okay, first of all, she couldn't give an exact date. She couldn't give proof that he was there. She said it had to be, well, she said it was him and his buddy. However, she had no backup evidence, no witnesses. And furthermore, since she was very hazy on the time, the year, the date, everything, there has never been any police reports or anything, or even anybody told about this until 2000, I believe it was 12, the first thing. But nothing has ever come public until today, or 2 weeks ago. Now, she had no witnesses in her behalf. Kavanaugh has come forward with people that said he said it never happened. He's got his friends that said it never happened. And he has provided a diary of what he was doing. He had a calendar. Now, who keeps a calendar from what they're doing in high school? That's, to me, a little weird. But he presented this calendar because she surmised it was in the year 1982 or 83 during the summer. So he pulled out his calendar, and he had little parties that he used to go to. Everything was documented. He said, I don't remember that one. That one never happened. So that to me is a little strange. But anyway, that's what he did. Do you have a calendar from when you went to high school and what you did every day? Well, maybe that's why he's so intelligent as a Supreme Court justice. I find that hard to believe. But anyway, I find her story even harder to believe, because with an incident like that, she's going to tell somebody, one person, her best friend. Her best friend said she never knew about this. Her mother and family have not even written letters of support for her, never told her mother, never told anybody in her immediate family, never told anybody. And that to me is very strange. And it appears to me the fix is in to get a political, theater going on here with this story, so that everybody's attention is off of what they're really doing. And what they're really doing is screwing you one way or the other in about 100 different ways. So follow this, because then two other women came up, are accusing him with this, this porn lawyer, if you ever follow the mainstream news, who represents Stormy Daniels, who accused Trump of sexual abuse, and then Trump paid her off before he was president. So, it's just a big dog and pony show, and whether he gets in or he gets out is irrelevant, because they're going to get their way one way or the other. And according to me, all these judges at that level are crooked. So if you want to be captivated by the theater going on in Washington, go right ahead. But anyway, I wanted to get to a whole bunch of stories that I found on the internet. This is what people read. And what I'm going to get at here is it's so far away from reality of what you read in the mainstream that you think you live in two worlds. Now, I'm not saying that some of this stuff here isn't true. I'm not saying that the other stuff is true or false. I'm just saying there's like two different worlds going on. Two different worlds here. Because if you look at this, you're going to go, which world should I live in? And then you probably say, they're both crazy. I don't want to live in any of them. But anyway, the first story isn't so crazy, but you're never going to hear this on the mainstream. It's about 9/11, a dustification of the towers. I haven't read about this in a while, but incredible high-resolution video now, in slow motion, shows how steel was turned into dust by something on 9/11. They don't know what. You'll hear analysis by engineer Judy Wood, if you want to go and listen to this story, which proves some type of weapon was used to turn the World Trade Center to dust. Did they use micro-nukes? Maybe. Micro-nukes don't turn steel into dust, though, they say. Now, what did they use? And people should start looking at how this was done. Okay. So that's one story you're going to read on the mainstream, okay? Or on the mainstream. What are you talking about, Greg? In the alternative. And what else could you read there? Well, they got stuff on Judge Kavanaugh here. Let's see what they say in the... Now, you know my position. That both... See, when you read the mainstreams or the alternative, they're taking sides. You know, they're either... Most of them are these Trump followers or they believe in America first. But they haven't understood. They never talk about the Vatican. They never really peel the onion far enough to really figure out that both of them are the same. They just are arguing different points of view. And that's to keep you pacified. Kind of like a baby, the mother giving a baby a pacifier. Here, chew on this while I screw this guy coming in that's not your father. Okay, same deal. Excuse my analogies there. But here's the deal here. The deep state, they say, is pushing their agenda hard. They say, i.e., hashtag Judge Kavanaugh. They know they can't allow Kavanaugh to get confirmed or they're done for. Are they really? The deep state pushed their playbook with Rod Rosenstein and it failed. So here they're taking sides. There's like a deep state, a socialist democratic party fighting the good guys. Now, that's what it appears if you're a conservative, but that's not really what's going on. They are doing that, but that's not their end game, if I can make it interesting. Also, I just got a notice on my desk, and you probably heard this, but Bill Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for sexual assault. Okay, that was the guy who came on TV years ago. For some of you millennials, you might not remember, but he was the ultimate father. He came across as this father figure. The show was revolutionary because it showed a black family as if they were a white family. And Cosby was revered. Not only was he a funny man and a good stand-up comic, but man, he was like the best father in the world. Now look at what's happened to him. Okay, so we got Kavanaugh and Rosenstein, and you know who, I hope you know who Rod Rosenstein is, so if you don't, look it up. Trump would like to meet with the leader of Venezuela to work everything out. Now, see, this is a game too. The guy in Venezuela and Trump, they're working on the same team, just from different angles. The paid mercenary, what do you got? The test of presidential alert is scheduled October 3rd, and the confirmation is scheduled for Friday, and the full Senate vote will be entered to second or third. I guess that's on Kavanaugh? Okay. Then they go on to say the Fed is doing what it always does, crash the market, but this time it's being done to reset the entire system. Anytime we get into these financial stories, I get lost. All I know is they steal your money, they're going to control your money, they're going to get their way, and somehow put you on the street. That's usually how they operate, and they don't care if they don't kill you first. So these owners of yours will do anything to increase their power, money, and build their bank accounts. That's what it's called. Build their bank accounts. Build their bank accounts and more elites will come. Don't worry about that. How much time do I have here? About 6 minutes. So we got NASA. Oh, anytime I see NASA on the news, I have to really wonder, do these alternative media people know what the hell they're talking about? And they talk about a conference announces Nibiru, Nibiru, Planet X, comets approach us. Shocking 72-hour warning. What will happen when Planet X arrives? Future cataclysms on Earth. This is what we're reading. Has anybody ever thought that there is no planets and there is no solar system like they tell us? But here, most people are going to say, wow, Planet X is there coming at us full speed, and in 72 hours, we are going to crash. It's going to crash and you're going to be dead. Okay, we'll see. According to these people, you have 72 hours. This is the stuff you got to put up with when you read this stuff. And they, So really, where are these truth movements gone to? Well, okay, let's read this one. The real truth, why world leaders meet in Antarctica. Child trafficking, Trump's Space Force, solar observatory speculation, a lot of stuff here. So what do they have to say? This is why I say you can go nuts reading this stuff. Let's see. It starts out with, let's read this. This is so weird. Not really weird. Joanne Richards. She's an executive director of the educational nonprofit Earth Defense Headquarters. Her husband, Mark Richards, and his father, Ellis Lloyd Richards, were involved with the top-level military intelligence operations since World War II. Oh, we know we're getting fed a lot of bullshit here. Anybody who is the head of the Earth Defense Headquarters has got to be nuts. And if you're going to believe these people, you're even crazier. The Earth doesn't need a defense system. It'll be here long after we're gone. But anyway, they say he was in charge of military operations since World War II, many including on-world and off-world contact and battles with various alien species. All right. See what I mean? Does anybody ever consider there are no aliens? That all of this stuff is made up, like from Steven Spielberg and E.T.? No, more people believe there's aliens than not. Now, how many people believe the Vatican is in charge of the New World Order or very high up in the pecking order? Probably very few. But how many believe that the Pope is actually God on earth? Millions. See how everything's upside down? Well, Joanne speaks about her knowledge of military operations and secret meetings that both these men were involved with. She shares information about numerous alien species, the secret space fleet, and battles with aliens on and off-world. Okay, you know what? I'd like to go meet her and her husband and say, take me on one of these battles. I need some adventure in my life. If you've been around all these space battles from aliens on and off this world, I want to go. I really do. I mean, it'd be a lot more fun than what I do, Really. And Navy Captain Mark Richards was an officer involved in Dulce battle as well as very active in the secret space program and the U.S. Space Command for many years prior to his being arrested and convicted of a murder he did not commit. This is a classic case of government framing. If anybody's going to believe this BS, that's what I mean. You'll be caught up, and more people believe this stuff than you think. Now, has anybody ever thought there is no space like they tell us? So how can there be a space command? And how can Trump is starting he wants a new branch of the military, the space branch or something? Come on. He's creating a branch of a military for something that doesn't exist. And we're going to pay for it. That's how stupid we've become. It's amazing. And this article goes on. I don't even want to go any farther with it because it's stupid. And then they show a picture of some computer-generated picture with one of those GoPro cameras that makes everything looks curved. It's a fisheye lens with this stupid astronaut looking like he's in, it looks like something out of Hollywood. And we're supposed to believe that. Well, people will believe anything, won't they? Yes, they will. More people will believe that than they will the truth of what we say on this program. That's the truth. That nobody's going to take everybody believes the Pope is infallible. The Pope is God on earth. But he's nothing but a crook. And he's a Luciferian. So back in 3 minutes on the Investigative Journal.
The book of Revelation says, the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app. for all of your mobile devices. Streaming First Amendment Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today so you can listen to First Amendment Radio wherever you are. The Prophecy Reality News app. Get it now.
Visit crosstheborder.org, C-R-O-S-S, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org. When it comes to prophecy today, much of the evangelical Christian world has their eyes on Israel, waiting and watching to see when the third temple will begin to be built. The plans are drawn, the Jewish people are eager. Most evangelical Christians today believe that the rapture will happen before the third temple is built. Hi, I'm Michael Eugene. I was taught that Daniel's 70th week was in the future. Is that really what the Bible teaches? Have we searched the scriptures and found this to be true? Why is it so important for a re-established Israel to build a third temple in Jerusalem? Is it necessary to build a temple on the same location already occupied by the Dome of the Rock? Is it necessary for sacrifices to take place in the temple on Temple Mount? Is there really a rapture followed by 7 years of tribulation? What is the New Testament temple? Can we identify history and prophecy? Who is the first beast in Revelation chapter 13? Who are the 7 kings in Revelation 17? I have asked all these questions, and I have found Nicholas Arthur's new book, When the Third Temple is Built, answers all these questions and more using Scripture to interpret Scripture. The Bible says that no prophecy of Scripture is of any private interpretation. Nicholas shows us in his new book, When the Third Temple is Built, how the Bible interprets prophecy and not man's private interpretation. Visit crosstheborder.org, C-R-O-S-S, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org.
The following program is labeled dangerous and off limits by the supreme Jesuit command. But stand tall, people. Listen up, and you may just learn something.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
Okay, we're right back here for the second half hour of the Investigative Journal. I don't know if I can make it through the second half hour. I have such a sore throat, I'm losing my voice. Does it have anything to do with talking too much over the last few days? Or does it have something to do with going to the dentist and having to speak with a little bit of my jaw not completely wide open, which is putting stress on my vocal cords? Who knows? See the dangers of being a broadcast journalist? What I go through? You know? This is worse than joining the space program at the Trump administration. I want to be in their new army of space cadets or whatever they're doing there. You know, I'd love to be in that. There's no space, maybe. And so I'd be in an army that has really nowhere to go or do. It'd be easy. Kind of be like being a priest, you know? That's the best I told you. If you really, folks, looking for a job, be a priest. Be a Catholic priest. All you got to do is lie like most of them, that you believe in God, you believe in Jesus. Then you learn all their commandments. You learn how to say a mass. They give you free room, free board, free food, free car, free clothes, free everything, free sex. You can screw around with anybody you want, and they'll protect you. Yes, you can be homosexual, you can be a predator of children, you can go out with 10 women at once, and they'll protect you. And if they get caught, they'll send you to another place where you can do the exact same thing. And if you get caught again, then they'll send you to another place. What could be a better job? You can get away with anything. And if you join the Jesuits, you can get away with murder. And you can then go on and be transferred to another place. And then you just go into a confessional, and they give you absolution. Oh, you can go to heaven anyway because it's for the better good of the church or the better good of mankind or whatever they justify. The ends justify the means, right? If I can't get through this, there's probably videos attached to some of these stories, and I will play it because, frankly, this show ain't worth losing my voice. to be honest with you. If it became between losing my voice and doing this show, I would not do this show. But then again, how could I do the show if I lost my voice? I'm going to ponder that the rest of the day. Give me something important to think about, right? But anyway, let's get back to these crazy stories that you see on the internet. And some of them are not so crazy, but they're crazy because they don't really get to the point. They don't understand the whole situation, how they work. They think these guys are really fighting each other. It's kind of like when you go to a movie and you see the villain fight the hero, and then somebody next to you starts, I can't watch this, it's too bloody, and I have to tap them on the shoulder and say, it's only a movie. They're really not hating each other, and after that scene, I can tell you they're all going over there and snorting some cocaine. So don't worry about it. They're all going to party, get drunk that night, snort cocaine, and the next day they'll be on the set, and the director will be going, if you come to this set one more time, drunk or high, I'm going to cancel your contract. We got a movie to make. That's what's really going on. But people think it's real, so they think this is real. And it's not. It's like a movie. But anyway, last week, a federal judge ruled that the FBI must turn over all withheld documents to a court in the Freedom of Information Act lawsuit filed by Judicial Watch. Let me give you a background here. Judge orders quick release of millions of documents exposing Obama, Clinton, deep state scandals. Now, why are they doing this when they love Clinton? When they all work together? They're never going to get arrested. They're never going to go to jail. The Clintons have been killing people and getting away with murder for 40 years. You know? And whatever else, stealing money, stealing uranium, giving it to the Russians, giving their secrets to China, bringing over people like Fethullah Gulen, who's a Muslim terrorist, and they're giving taxpayer money to spread around what supposedly is, peaceful Islam, when in fact they're infiltrating America for its overthrow. Those are the Clintons. And now you think with the Judicial Watch and the judge saying, let's turn over these documents, we're going to finally get them. This is nuts. It's all staged. And I know, I watched Tom Fenton. He's the head of Judicial Watch. Sounds good. But here's what they say. With several investigations into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's corruption already yielding results, hey, look at this witch is about 70 years old. If they haven't got her by now, what do you think they're going to do? She's revered by the elite. She's the one who gets, look, they don't care if you call them a murderer. What they care about is covering up the evidence so they can never prove she's a murderer or a traitor, etc., etc. Now, Judicial Watch President Tom Fenton warns that a, quote, tsunami of information is set to expose even more corruption from the deep state. I love how they've come up with this term deep state. So we got the state, which is basically conservative or Republican, and then we got the deep state, who basically wants to get rid of what? All conservatives? They're all working together. And I wouldn't doubt if Fenton knows it either. And he's there to play the guy, we're going to get to the truth, my friends, and don't you worry about it. But what in the end is going to happen is he's not going to get to the truth, and the American people are going to realize they don't have a system of justice. This is exactly what they want you to think. Because then they can say, our country's not functioning anymore. We have to create another one, a one-world government, a one-world religion that's going to save you all. Now, on Tuesday, Fenton tweeted that more corruption scandals from the Obama administration are about to be released, noting that the Justice Department handed over 1.2 million, who's going to read that, documents to Congress. Congress, you'd be lucky if you get one of those senators to read a menu at a restaurant, let alone a bill or 102 million documents. They don't read anything. They're too damn lazy. All they do is they say to their aide, what do you think we should do? Then the lobbyists come in and say, you do this, and then they do that, depending on where the money is. They don't read anything. They don't know how to read. So they're giving 1.2 million documents to Congress. What are they going to do with it? You know what they should do with it? Make a big bonfire in the middle of Congress and cook weenies, Put their weenies in there to cook. That's about what they should do with these guys, with those documents, because that's about all that'll ever be done. Congress as a part of congressional probe into the DOJ corruption prior to the 2016 election. Can I make a statement, please? All elections are selections. Selection, not election. Just put an S there. During his interview on Fox News with host Sean Hannity, Fenton said he believed a surprising number of corruption scandals involving both Obama and Clinton are going to be exposed to the American people. Well, they ain't exposing anything new to me. And if you want to be honest, how long can we listen to the Clintons anymore? They've committed so many crimes that I don't know if there's any more for them to commit. I mean, they've run the gamut from drug peddling to drug smuggling to giving away secrets of our country, traitor secrets, from sexual abuse to trafficking of children, and you name it, and covering up of the Clinton body count of hundreds of murders. I mean, what else can they do? Well, I'm sure they'll think of something. Oh, and I didn't even mention giving the uranium we have to Russia. I didn't mention China. I didn't mention Fethullah Gulen and bringing over radical Islamists to our country. These people, and they're worried about 1.2 million documents you're going to give these old fart senators that can't read anymore. No, we have the court ruling, this is what he says, Fenton, that the Clinton emails need to be released more quickly. So we're going to get all these Clinton emails that she tried to hide or delete. I don't want to read her email. She's a crook. Just put her away. I mean, they got more evidence than they need. They don't need these emails. And then we had the court just yesterday talk about how we want the Comey memos. That's Jim Comey, the former FBI aide, head of the FBI, who was fired, and maybe the guy's just a political hack playing a part. Because he wants to review the Comey memos, which are the genesis of the Mueller investigation. That is the special counsel hired to investigate the Trump-Russia collusion when there isn't any, while they let the Clinton stuff and her collusion, which you can prove, go scot-free. That's what you're listening to, and the people are going, wow, we don't have a system of justice anymore. This is totally corrupt. What can we do? Just get rid of all of them. They're all working together, folks. That's why it seems so crazy, because you haven't figured out how it really works. And once you do, you'll understand a lot of different things, like Barack Obama. I mean, the guy gave away everything to our enemies. He's not even born in America. He's a homosexual. His wife's a transgender. And what more do you want? I mean, all this stuff is there, and nobody wants to deal with it. These deep state members are the best Democrats money can buy, they say. And they're looking at Obama, Clinton, and Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, the FBI people, Glenn Simpson, Bill something, and Bruce and Molly Orr, Sally Yates, who else? Andrew McCabe, all these names you hear, Loretta Lynch, former Attorney General, James Comey, former FBI Director, all involved in the deep state to overthrow Donald J. Trump. It's a setup. They've been this is the theater that every day they get their little script. Okay, and who's the director of all this? I don't know, probably some Georgetown Jesuit given the assignment from the Jesuit general or whatever to write a good script, and they write pretty damn good. I have to admit, they're keeping people's interest. This could win a Tony Award, I said, as best theater in America. And it should be up for it. Best villain, Clinton. Best hero, Trump. Best supporting cast, the members I mentioned. Lisa Page, Bruce and Mellie Orr, Peter Strzok, Glenn Simpson, Andrew McCabe, Jim Comey, Loretta Lynch, and others. And they all, at the end of winning the Tony Award for the Trump presidency and the dismantling of America, we'll call it, they all ought to get up on stage and, you know what, wave their Tony Awards with their hands and give a good bow, and everybody will clap and go, more, encore, another one, give us more. And that's exactly what they'll do. Okay. So Anyway, here we go with this story, which has been driving people crazy over the years now. It's going on 3 years. Americans have a full right to know the facts of former FBI Director James Comey unclassified memos regarding his conversations with President Trump and his aides prior to his firing. Here's what they were saying. They're out to dinner. Trump is talking to Comey and goes, okay, get out your script. And Trump says, I got mine here. I got mine memorized. And Comey says, you got your lines memorized already? Boy, you've been working hard, Donald. Well, you know, I don't drink like you, James. And Trump tells us he has never drank liquor in his life because his brother was an alcoholic. That's what he tells us. So I imagine he doesn't, because even at state dinners he toasts with a glass of water or something. It's probably vodka. You can't smell that either, right? So, I mean, he's got to be drunk to be doing this. But I guess he's paid well. So he says to James, so you got your lines, and they read their lines, and they go on and they get drunk together, and Trump says, I don't drink, and he drinks his water or whatever, and then they go to bed and wake up and do their show. That's really how it goes. Comey's memo triggered the appointment of Robert Mueller as special counsel, as Democrats contended that Trump may have tried to obstruct justice by interfering with the Russia investigation. Ooh. There's no evidence. That's the funny thing about this. When you really follow this, there's no evidence, and they even say it. But they're going on spending millions with this special counsel to keep the American people occupied. It's good theater. But Judicial Watch's major victory not only ensures transparency into whether Comey broke the law, it also follows several other major wins for Trump and Republicans in their quest to fully expose the dossier, I should say. So what? They're going to find all this evidence, and they're not going to be in jail. They'll blow the world up before they do that. Judicial Watch's the victory. Republican chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Chuck Grassley. He's a nice old guy. And Senator Lindsey Graham, a goofy son of a gun from South Carolina, also called on the Justice Department to investigate or appoint a second special counsel to analyze the slanderous claims in the dirty dossier. So now the Republicans want a special counsel. How many are you going to get? You got one? Well, it's nothing new these days. We got 2 popes going on 3rd. So, I mean, maybe that's two Jesuit generals. They're all retiring. They're supposed to stay there for life. The Pope's supposed to be God on earth, so now we got 2 gods on earth. So why not have 2 special counsels, right? Why not? Just follow along with what everybody's doing. Boy, I'll tell you, I only got 9 minutes here, but my throat is killing me. My throat is about ready. I don't know if I could say another word, but I somehow am plowing through this. So you get the drift of what's going on here. Okay, let's see what other crazy things this should be good. This is supposedly a biblical bombshell. Archaeologists has found evidence of what? Wow, it's a video too, so maybe I can save my voice. Hopefully it's a short video because I don't have much time. Oh, let's see. This is a bombshell information. We are going to discuss an article that just released stating that archaeologists may have just found the first potential evidence of Exodus. Wasn't that a movie? Did they find the footage of Exodus? The finding now potentially puts science directly in line with the biblical record. This should make a lot of people happy today. What you are about to hear could realign history for those that do not believe in biblical record of history. For the remainder, it will just go to reinforce what is already known. Whatever side you stand on. What if I don't stand on any side? Did you ever think I did not stand on a side? And how do you stand on a side? You can't. So, whatever he's trying to say is, he's not taking into account everybody. Because I don't stand for anything. And I refuse to stand on a side. Okay? I cannot stand on my side. There are a few findings in history that serve as physical evidence to what faith already provides for. Does it? Faith provides for does it? How can faith provide for anything that you can see, hear, or touch? I don't think so. This will always cover here when they do come up. Okay, I got to play this because my voice is going. I don't know what the hell he's going to say, so don't hold anything against me, and I don't even know if it's going to play. So let's see. It's 7 minutes. Perfect. Whew. I like the beginning.
Welcome to Truth or Fiction Classified. I'm your host, Justice Knight, and on this broadcast, we cover today's headlines that beg the question, are they truth? Are they fiction? Or will the answers simply remain classified? Hello, my friends, and welcome to Truth or Fiction Classified. I'm your host, Justice Knight, and on today's broadcast, we're going to cover the article you see on your screen. Bible bombshell is archaeologists unearthed first ever evidence of the Exodus. A Bible bombshell may have just been unearthed, as experts believe they have found what could be proof of the legendary Exodus from Egypt led by Moses. We're going to go down just...
Okay, I can talk faster than this guy. This was a big, huge bombshell. The bombshell is that the government is now working with the... I can't talk as fast as him. Oh my God. It must be age. I've got to practice to talk fast. Here we go.
It's a little bit further, but before we do, I want you to watch this short video clip.
Evidence has led experts to believe this may be the remains that were wiped out in the parting of the Red Sea.
It's the story written in the Bible, Moses leading his people from Egypt away from Pharaoh, crossing the parted Red Sea until it closes upon the Egyptian soldiers, which again they're saying they may have actually found evidence of that also. I want to research that a little bit further. However, he then leads them into the wilderness before they cross the river Jordan. Now that's where this story takes place. Historical evidence for this event, which is key to Judaism and Christianity, has so far not been found, with archaeologists believing the Israelites were in fact native to the region and hadn't fled from Egypt. Ancient ruins newly uncovered near the River Jordan, however, are now thought to suggest that a nomadic Israelite people crossing into the ancient land from outside. If proven, this could be the first ever evidence of Exodus. Now we're dealing with science. Science always needs evidence. Religion relies on faith for the facts that they need to believe in God. But when you're dealing with archaeologists, the only thing they believe is what they can touch, what they can find, what they can see, and what they can measure. But nonetheless, here, they would say legend is merging with science because now there's evidence. And we're going to go down just a little bit further. And again, they're always hoping, as it says here, that they can find the Ark of the Covenant. That is a story for a different day, an amazing story.
That's an amazing story, but I want to tell you something. People are always looking for the Ark of the Covenant. All right? I know why they can't find it, because I have it. I have it hidden away where I'll never tell anyone where it is. And long ago, I tracked it down and got it. Now have faith, people. Have faith. I have it. Here we go.
We have not, and it says here, Dr. Ben Shlomo, this might fit the biblical stories of the Israelites coming from east of the Jordan River, not being native then. We have not proved that these camps are from the period of the early Israelites, but it is possible, said David Ben Shlomo, an archaeologist with Ariel University. If they are, this might fit the biblical story of the Israelites coming from east of the Jordan River, then crossing the Jordan and entering into the hill country of Israel later, directly in line with what the biblical record records. Archaeologists are now analyzing whether the ruins named Kribet et Mastara are consistent with a newly arrived nomadic people. So what did they find? Well, it says they found pottery shards dating to the early Iron Age, which would be traditionally right in time with the Bible record. The ruins themselves, a number of low walls, are believed to be rudimentary stone fencing for animals consistent with known nomadic practices. Again, they would carry their flock, their cattle with them wherever they went. The nomadic people would use them as a source of food, as a source of milk, as all the stories were. So again, exactly consistent with the record. The floors on the structure were virtually empty of finds, and thus we cannot date them by conventional archaeological methods, they said. In Bodine settlements, people live in tents made of perishables, which are relocated every season. Thus, artifacts would not be associated with stone architecture. They're nomadic people. They move. They're not going to build buildings and chairs that they can sit in and then have to carry with them when they move on to their next location. Again, you got it, directly in line with the biblical record and what would have happened during that time. So the structures might have housed animals rather than people who lived in tents around them.
Okay, thank you, Justice Knight, for coming to my rescue. Yes, I needed that break on my voice or I may not speak again. So here we have, we're going to make a lot of people happy that the Bible is being verified or almost verified, and Jesus is what they tell us he is. Now, if you scroll down to the next story, which I don't have time for, it starts out like this. Jesus was really an alien. All right, this is what you get. I mean, I'm not making this up. I have no axe to grind. I have no agenda to push forward. I'm just saying this is what you'll find. And I'm sure you're going to want to come back tomorrow to find out what alien species he came from according to these people. I don't. And I may not just forget. I'm just going to forget about it all right after this show's over in 20 seconds. I'm going to forget I even did the show, and hopefully I won't be able to speak another word. So if I'm not back tomorrow, you'll know that I can't talk anymore after all this garbage I've been talking about today. Back tomorrow, maybe, on the Investigative Journal.
The book of Revelation says, "The spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ." This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app for all of your mobile devices, streaming First Amendment Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today so you can listen to First Amendment Radio wherever you are. The Prophecy.
Since the beginning of time, kings have sought it, nations have fought for it. It has been traded, it has been borrowed, it has been purchased, it has been stolen. There's a reason for it. To secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity. Invest with the security of gold and silver. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188 or visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. Listen to Financial Survival with your host Melody Cedarstrom right here on FirstAmendmentRadio.com at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net or call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free 1-800-375-4188.